Okay, picture this. It's 2026. You you pull out your phone, you open your banking app, Face ID does its thing, and you see 7 figures. You're a millionaire, a cash millionaire. But here's the kicker, and this is the part that honestly makes me skeptical right away.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You didn't write a single line of code to get there.
It sounds like a scam. Let's just be honest.
Okay.
It has that feel of a late-night infomercial, make millions in your sleep, no work required.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A YouTube ad I would skip in like 2 seconds flat.
Yeah.
But today we're looking at a blueprint that claims this is not only possible, but actually predictable. We're analyzing the zero code framework from Dan Martell.
And we should probably clarify for everyone listening, Martell isn't just some guy selling courses about how to sell more courses.
No, not at all.
And that's really why we're taking this seriously. Martell is an actual operator. He runs Martell Ventures, which, it's a portfolio company. They acquire, they build, they scale software companies.
He's done this multiple times.
Multiple times. He's taken AI companies to over $1 million in revenue in under 12 months. So when he talks about a blueprint, he's really talking about his team's internal SOPs. Their standard operating procedures.
So this is his literal playbook, not just a theory.
It's a resource allocation strategy. It's about market psychology and really leverage. The core idea is that the real AI gold rush isn't about building the next ChatGPT.
Right. You're not trying to beat OpenAI.
No, don't even try. It's about the application layer.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people feel like that ship has sailed. They think, well, I'm not a Python developer. I don't know machine learning, so I'm just out.
Right. MSTIT.
But Martell's whole argument is that the biggest opportunity is for the non-technical person who can just spot a problem. And we have a specific 7-step roadmap to get into today.
And I'll give a fair warning. Step 1 is going to feel completely wrong. It goes against, everything business school and probably your own gut tells you to do.
Step 1, sell before you build.
Which just sounds so incredibly dangerous to most people, right?
It does. The standard way is, I have a great idea. I go into my garage for 6 months. I build the perfect thing, polish the logo.
And then you emerge to show the world.
Yeah.
And that's the whole field of dreams fallacy. If you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
And in the software world, usually if you build it, nobody cares. You just burn through 6 months of savings and, honestly, emotional energy on a solution for a problem that nobody actually had.
So Martell's approach is to just flip that risk completely upside down.
You validate the wallet before you even think about writing code.
Okay, so practically speaking, how do you sell something that doesn't exist yet without, lying? You can't just be selling vaporware.
No, and you're not. You don't sell the product. You sell the concept to validate the pain. Martell's advice is to find 10 potential customers. Just 10.
Only 10.
But here's the psychological twist, and I've seen this work in venture capital too. You do not ask them for money.
You ask for advice.
You ask for advice. It's a defense mechanism thing. If I come up to you and say, hey, I have this new AI tool, want to buy it, your brain immediately starts looking for objections.
Right. It's too expensive. I don't have time. This feels risky.
But if I say, hey, I'm thinking about building something for your industry, could I just get your advice to see if I'm on the right track? Your guard just dropped.
Just feel flattered. You're a collaborator now.
Exactly. And the specific question he tells you to ask is, I think, brilliant. You ask, what has been hard about your business that if you could automate it with AI, you would just love to get that set up?
That's so clever. You're not guessing their problem anymore. You're making them say their biggest pain, point out loud.
And the minute they admit the pain, they've basically sold themselves on the need for a solution. If they say, ugh, I spend 10 hours a week just organizing client files, they've just told you exactly how valuable your tool could be.
Okay, so they talk about the pain, but you still have to pivot to a sale. How do you do that without it feeling like a bait and switch?
You frame it as a founding member or a beta offer. You just say, look, I'm building exactly that. Since you helped me shape the idea, I'll build it for you at a 50% discount.
But there's a condition.
There's the trade-off. There has to be.
The social proof trade.
Exactly. You trade that discount for their permission to use their results as a case study. Because in the beginning, you don't need profit. You need proof. You need that testimonial that says, this saved me 10 hours a week.
So step 1 isn't about getting rich. It's just about proving that 10 actual humans will open their wallets for this thing.
Correct. It's all about time to value. You want to shrink the time between the idea and the cash. If you can't find 10 people to say yes to the concept, you're definitely not going to find 1,000 to buy the final product.
Okay, let's say we do that. Then the question is, who are these 10 people? This gets us to step 2, choosing the right market. And Martell has a phrase here that I think is going to annoy some people.
Boring is better.
Why boring? Everyone wants to be in the sexy, fast-growing spaces.
Because sexy industries are volatile. I mean, think about it. Crypto, NFTs, some new drop-shipping trend, they are flash-in-the-pan markets. By the time you actually build your tool, the trend could be totally over.
He brings up the Bezos principle here.
He does. Jeff Bezos famously said he doesn't build his strategy around what's going to change in 10 years. He builds it around what won't change.
People will always need their houses painted. They'll always need a plumber. Always need their taxes filed.
Exactly. So Martell says look for industries that are stable, unsexy, and this is the most important part, full of manual, repetitive tasks. He even suggests using AI to find them.
With a prompt.
Yeah, prompt ChatGPT. Show me 20 boring industries with high average deal sizes where operations are still super manual.
Why does that high average deal size part matter so much?
It's all about purchasing power. If you sell a tool to a college student, getting $20 out of them is a battle. But if you sell an efficiency tool to a construction company doing $5 million a year, and you can show them it saves $50,000 in lost labor,
then charging them $5,000 is a no-brainer.
it's a no-brainer. The ROI is just crystal clear.
The example Martell uses is an electrician, which I think is perfect. You've got a guy who is amazing at wiring a house, but he is terrible at running the business side.
He's up on a ladder, his phone rings, he can't answer it. That missed call could have been a $10,000 job. That's what you call a bleeding neck problem. He knows he's losing money every single time his phone rings.
So the solution isn't, here, let me sell you this complicated AI dashboard.
No way. He hates dashboards. The solution is an AI agent, something like Atlas, that answers the phone, sounds like a real person, asks a few qualifying questions, and then books the appointment right on his calendar.
And the entrepreneur here, our listener, they're not actually coding the voice recognition model.
No, not at all. You're the integrator. You're the middleman connecting the electrician, who doesn't even know this stuff exists, with the tools that are already out there. You're selling the implementation and the outcome, not the invention.
Okay, so we've got a boring market, a painful problem. Now, the economics. Step 3 is the math of wealth. And Martell kind of throws some shade at the idea of revenue.
As he should. Revenue is a vanity metric. Silicon Valley is just littered with startups that have 10 million in revenue and 12 million in expenses. They're just dying slowly. Martell is obsessed with margin.
Right.
And this is why the zero code model is so powerful.
Because software doesn't really have a cost of goods sold, not like a t-shirt.
Exactly. With t-shirts, you have cotton, shipping, storage, returns. With an AI service, your cost to deliver to the next customer is almost zero. He lays out this margin hierarchy for 2026. At the bottom, AI services, about 70% margin.
Okay.
Then AI consulting at 80%. AI digital products at 90%. And then the holy grail, AI software, 95% margin.
95% is just,
Yeah.
it's absurd. For every dollar you make, you keep 95 cents.
But he actually warns against starting with software. Why would he do that? Because you don't know what to build yet. If you start coding on day one, you're just guessing. His path is to start as a service. You do it manually for that first client. You set up the AI agent for the electrician yourself. You manage it.
So you're basically getting paid to learn the workflow.
You're getting paid to do your research. You're prototyping with the service business. You feel the friction points yourself. You realize, oh, the AI keeps messing up the schedule when it rains. You fix it. Once you've done it by hand for 10 clients, then you automate it. You productize the service.
That's how you climb the ladder to 95% without building the wrong thing first.
It's a stair-step approach.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, step 4, structuring the deal, creating a cash flow offer. And there's a paradox he brings up. Nobody wants AI.
It's the biggest mistake tech people make. They fall in love with the technology itself. They want to talk about the transformer model and the parameters.
And the electrician does not care.
The dentist doesn't care. They care about customers, time, and money. You have to sell the outcome. So instead of, I'll install an AI receptionist, the pitch is, I will get you 10 more qualified leads every week without you ever picking up the phone.
Specificity.
Yeah.
But he also talks about the cash flow crunch,
Yeah.
which is what kills so many small businesses.
Oh, it's the valley of death. You do the work in January, you send the invoice in February, maybe you get paid in March. Meanwhile, rent was due on the 1st.
So what's the solution?
Incentivize upfront payment. Simple math. If your service is $1,000 a month, that's $12,000 a year. You offer it to them for $6,000 if they pay for 6 months upfront. today.
You take a hit on the total possible revenue, but you get cash in the bank now.
And cash today when you're starting is worth infinitely more than theoretical cash in 6 months. It funds everything. Plus, it locks them in. They're not going to churn next month if they've already paid for 6.
I also liked his strategy of using bonuses to kill objections. It feels like a negotiation hack.
It is. You just anticipate why they're going to say no. The boss is thinking, my staff is going to hate learning a new system, so you create a bonus. If you sign up today, I'll include a free staff onboarding masterclass where I train your whole team personally.
You turn their biggest objection into a feature.
And you give it a value, a $5,000 value for free to get the deal done.
All right, we have the money. Panic sets in. Now we actually have to build the thing.
Yeah.
Step 5, building the MVP, the minimum viable product. This is where the zero-code promise is really tested.
Yeah, and this is where the world has changed so much in just the last couple of years. Martel lists 3 ways to build, and none of them require a computer science degree.
Okay, let's run through them. First up, no-code platforms.
Think of tools like Zapier, Make.com, Lovable. These are like digital glue. You're not writing code, you're just connecting blocks. When a new email arrives, send it to ChatGPT for a summary, then post that summary in Slack. You can build surprisingly complex businesses this way.
But what if you need something more custom? That's category 2, agentic programming.
This is the real bleeding edge. We're talking about tools like Replit or Cursor. When we say agentic, we mean the AI is your agent. You don't type code, you type English. Build me a dashboard that tracks incoming calls and puts them on a graph.
And the AI literally writes the code and sets it all up.
Yeah. I mean, it's not perfect. You still have to debug it by talking to it, but it just lowers the barrier to entry so dramatically. You're basically a project manager for a super fast, slightly too literal junior developer.
And the third option is just hiring someone. But he has a warning here.
A big one. Don't just go on Upwork and hand someone a $10,000 project. He suggests giving them a micro test first. Pay $50 for a tiny 1-hour task. See how they communicate. See if they deliver. Then you can trust them.
The big takeaway here seems to be just speed over perfection.
An MVP does not need to be pretty. It just needs to work. The pretty can come later. The only goal is solving the problem for those first 10 customers.
All right, step 6. You've built it. It works. You have 10 happy customers. Martel says this is exactly where most entrepreneurs drown. He calls it the scale trap.
It is the tragedy of success. You get those 10 clients, and now you're spending all day manually onboarding them, resetting passwords, answering support questions. You haven't built a business, you've just built yourself a very high-stress job.
So you have to automate delivery. I love his metaphor of a vending machine.
It's perfect. A vending machine doesn't need the owner standing there to hand you a Coke. The system does it. Martel maps out a 4-step automation. 1, purchase, triggered by Stripe. 2, access, an automatic email with the login. 3, onboarding, a pre-recorded video. 4, support, an AI chatbot.
Yeah, that consistency is so important.
Humans forget things. Automations don't. If you want to get to 100 customers or 1,000, you cannot be in the middle of every single transaction. You have to remove yourself from the critical path.
Which brings us to the final step, step 7. And this one feels a bit more philosophical. It's about the mindset. He calls it long-term greed.
I love this phrase. Greed is usually such a negative word, but he makes a distinction between short-term greedy and long-term greedy.
Short-term greedy is.
I need to get every dollar today, so I'll cut corners, I'll sell a bad product, I'll burn a relationship just to hit a quota this month.
The bump and dump mentality.
Exactly. Long-term greedy is, I am building an empire. It means I'm willing to take less money today, like giving that 50% discount for a case study because I know it builds a stronger asset for the next decade. It's delayed gratification for your business.
He breaks this down into the 3 S's of wealth: sell, scale, stack.
Right. Sell is just survival. Get that first client, get that cash, you have to master it. Scale is the systems phase, automating everything. And stack. Stack is the empire phase. Once you have a relationship with all these electricians, what else can you sell them?
So cross-selling other products.
Or acquiring other companies. Maybe you buy a small AI invoicing tool for electricians and you just plug it into your existing customer base. You stack value on top of value. That's how you get to what he calls the unlimited creation lifestyle.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just about the $1 million. It's about becoming the 10.0 self.
It's that old Jim Rohn idea. Become a millionaire not for the $1 million, but for what it will make of you to achieve it. The person who can do all this, spot a market, sell a vision, automate a system, is just a different caliber of person.
And Martel adds that final layer, giving yourself away.
Yeah, that part really stuck with me. Once you've built the machine and you have that financial freedom, the real fulfillment is teaching others how you did it. Martel is sharing this whole blueprint because his long-term greed is now about making an impact.
So let's just recap this whole journey real quick.
Sell before you build.
Choose a boring market.
Focus on high margins.
Create a cash flow offer.
Build a scrappy MVP.
Automate your delivery.
Play the long game with long-term greed.
It's a simple list, but simple is not the same as easy. The hard part isn't the AI. It's the emotional stuff handling rejection, asking for feedback, having the discipline to build those systems.
But the barrier to entry has never, ever been lower. In 2020, you needed a chief technical officer to do this. In 2026, you just need curiosity and a subscription to an AI tool.
The tech is not the excuse anymore. If you're not doing it, it's not because you can't code. It's because you're not executing.
So here is our challenge to you, listening right now. Martel talks about giving yourself away. If you actually followed this roadmap, if you built this automated income machine and you got your 40 hours a week back, what is the thing you would finally start?
That's the real question, isn't it? What would you create if you didn't have to worry about the rent?
Think about that and maybe go find an electrician and ask for some advice. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.